Today we're going to talk about purpose. This is one of the major themes in A Course in Miracles. Over and over again, Jesus reminds us that the only thing we should ever ask about anything, an event, a situation, a relationship, is what is it for? And it's in understanding what the purpose is that we will understand the meaning of the event, situation, or relationship. When we speak about purpose, we're speaking about the mind, because purpose is only found in the mind. The body never assigns a purpose. The body simply follows the direction that the mind makes based upon which purpose it chooses. And there are only two purposes that are possible in the world of illusion. The ego's purpose, which is to sustain the ego's existence and blame everyone else for it. It's the ego's purpose to keep the dream going, to keep us asleep, and to ensure that we never return to the mind and then remember who we are as God's Son. The Holy Spirit's purpose, which is the correction for the egos, is to awaken us from the dream, have us remember that we are minds and not bodies. His purpose is to make us mindful instead of mindless, and to teach us the meaning of forgiveness, which is the Course's correction for the for the thoughts of attack and judgment that permeate the ego's thought system and the world in which we live, or the world in which we think we live. It's an understanding purpose that our lives in this world become meaningful. From the moment we wake up to the time we go to sleep, day in and day out, week in, month in, year out, decade in, decade out, our sole purpose in awakening from our sleep in the morning is to remember that everything that goes on in this day, if our goal is to awaken from the world's dream, our goal, our purpose then is to see everything that occurs as an opportunity for us to remember that we are minds and not bodies. And it's within the mind that the source of the problem is found, and it's in that same mind that the solution is found. The problem is always the mind's decision for the ego thought system of separation and separate interests, and the solution is always Jesus or the Holy Spirit's correction, which is to recognize that as children of God, we are all the same. While different in form and in bodies, our minds are the same. We all have the same wrong mind, right mind, and decision maker. And that everything that occurs during the day, then, from the right-minded point of view, is geared towards having us remember that we are minds and not bodies, that we recognize that the world we see, the body we see, the situation, event, relationship in which we believe we participate in, all of these are outside pictures of an inward condition. And so we recall the projection, return to the mind's inward condition, which is that of being a decision-making mind. And then we choose again. One way of understanding how the Course understands purpose and sees purpose in our everyday lives is encapsulated in a wonderful passage that says that the body was not made by love, but love does not condemn it and can use it lovingly to awaken us from illusions. I'm not quite sure how the latter part goes, but it's something like that. The idea is that the body was made to serve the purpose of the ego, right? Which is to keep us mindless and therefore never allowing us to choose again. Once the body is made that way, as we've discussed elsewhere in this series, the body becomes neutral. And then it serves the ego's purpose of reinforcing its original purpose of keeping us mindless and keeping us asleep within its dream. Or it could serve the Holy Spirit's purpose. And so the body is not condemned because of its original misuse of the mind, but rather now serves a loving purpose. It becomes the instrument of forgiveness. It becomes a classroom of Jesus teaching us, rather than the imprisoning agent of the ego, whereby the body either is perceived as a prison in which we feel trapped and suffer needlessly until we die, or even in some cases as a playground in which we have pleasure and we think that the world is meaningful and at times even fun to be with. All these are but defenses to conceal the ego's underlying purpose. As the Course tells us, the world, and therefore the body, is a dry and dusty place in which starved and thirsty creatures come to die. And so we shift the purpose for our being in this world from that of suffering and proving that everyone else and everything else has inflicted this suffering and pain on us. It now becomes a classroom in which we learn that we are not truly here, that our identity within the dream, within the illusion, is not of a body, but of a dreaming mind, a mind that has chosen to remain asleep, but that same power in the mind that has chosen the ego can now be redirected and choose Jesus as its loving teacher, that the world serves the purpose of bringing us back to him in our mind so we could choose again, awaken from the dream, and return home.